just want to give a little pivot and a twist to the question, which is quite simply this. Is the real battle between English and the regional languages? Is English actually, as Yogendra Yadav just now suggested, the hegemonical language? You know, Yogendra Yadav, I didn't interrupt you when you spoke that. You said the real battle is bhashas versus the hegemony of English. You even seem to post that this is the real linguistic apartheid in India. What do you mean by that? Many think, I do too, that English is actually a great leveler. It's the one aspirational language that helps us fare well in the world. It's a global language, a language of opportunity. Are we going to now make the debate English versus regional languages?
Rasdeep, just as I would not want people to attack Hindi as a language, I would not attack English as a language. What I'm opposing, and I would promote, I would want to learn English. I'm speaking to you in that language. And I would want every child in this country to be able to learn English, to be able to use it and access all the world language and knowledge that you spoke about. My problem is English displacing Indian languages. My problem is in English becoming a medium of instruction for which there is no pedagogical evidence to support that. Every pedagogue, everyone who works on language, everyone who works on brain, everyone who works on multilingualism tells us that children should be educated in their mother tongue. So yes, children in Tamil Nadu must be taught in Tamil. Who is displacing Indian languages? It is not Hindi. Take Tamil Nadu. How many students studied in Tamil medium, say 30 years ago, and how many students study in Tamil medium today? Much less. Is it because they are now studying in Hindi medium? No, sir. It is because English and the dominance of English. So I do not oppose English language. In fact, it's a great window to us for world literature. What I oppose is A, English displacing Indian languages, and number two, this obnoxious practice of English medium education, mostly in schools where the student doesn't know English, parents do not know English, and even the teachers don't know English.
Contentious what you've just said, but let's try and develop that. Are regional languages losing out to Hindi or English? My question is, are they losing out to Hindi or are they losing out to English? Mr. Ilango, you know, the DMK seems to believe that Tamil will lose out to Hindi. The truth of the matter is a lot of young people in Tamil Nadu go to private schools where they learn English. If anything, Tamil is losing out to English. Yogendra Yadav has a point. Why make Hindi the bogey?
It is not Tamil is losing to English. The opportunities worldwide is available in English. See, especially the higher education like engineering and medical field, we don't have much of Tamil language books, and even in Hindi, we don't have good books for medical and engineering students.
No, so parents want to teach in parents want their children to learn in English. English is the real the language to which Tamil is losing out to.
It's not the language. It is the specialization of the language to go to the better education, namely the professional courses, in fact. That's why they choose English, number one. Number two, any parent who is sending his child in Tamil Nadu to English medium will insist that child should learn Tamil, and proficiency in Tamil will be a pride of every parent. They don't.
Narayan Tirupati, do you agree with that? Do you believe that, where is Tamil losing out? Do you believe in the first instance Tamil or any regional language today is losing out either to Hindi or English? I can learn all three. I went to a school where the medium of instruction was English. Just a minute. I went to a school where the medium of instruction was English. I learned Hindi right up to class 10 and I learned Marathi up to class 8. I was trilingual as a result.
I learned.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Nagar. I learned only one thing.
Yes.
Sir, Tamil Nadu's culture is way back 3,000 years or 2,000 years ago. We had trade with every part of the world. We had everybody used to come here. We had trade with everybody. Never ever any language sideline Tamil. Correct? So we have.
So why do you fear it today? No, so why do you fear it today? Why are you fearing it today? If it hasn't happened for 3,000, then that you're playing on fear.
Honest. The question is imposition.
Let Narayan Tirupati. Yes, go ahead, Narayan.
I just have three issues. Number one is that your main question was whether it is Hindi or English. See, I'm telling you, in the last say around 10, 15 years, after 2009, market after 2009, when DMK rule was there, there was only around 500 CBSE schools in Tamil Nadu, whereas now it is 1,625 as on December 2024. Why? See, this is because of the DMK's very bad education policy, and Tamil Nadu is the third highest CBSE schools which teaches third language. After Delhi and Haryana, Tamil Nadu is the third highest CBSE schools what we have, and that is because of DMK's bad policy. Now the two language policy, they say it is. Sir,
let him finish.
I will definitely tell you, sir. I will definitely tell you. See, now we have to understand this, that because of DMK's Samachir Kalvi, the parents opted to go in for CBSE schools, and the government also gave no objection certificate. That is the reason CBSE schools came like this. And as far as the higher education is concerned, Mr. N.R. Elango was telling, my friend, he was telling that, it all related to the professionals. No. Even in Karnataka, there are colleges where the learning language will be taught in Kannada, even in Kerala. But in Tamil Nadu, there is not even a single student learns through Tamil. Please understand. And
no.
Yes, sir, 100%, yes. No. See, you tell me any college which teaches in Tamil language. No, it is not.
But that is true. One minute, sir. Sir, Narayan Tirupati, that is true of large parts of the country. As you travel, just a minute, sir. Sir, as you travel across this country, you're finding English is becoming, just a minute, English is becoming, just a minute, sirs. English is becoming an aspirational language across the board. Narayan Lakshman, do you agree with that? That, this battle is being made out to be, 1 minute, sir. The battle is being made out to be Hindi versus Tamil or Hindi versus regional languages. Is the real losing out, even in the Hindi heartland? Actually, Hindi gradually is losing to parents who want their children to learn in English, including politicians who espouse Hindi.
Rajdeep, let me finish.
No, let Narayan finish. I'll come back to you, Mr. Tirupati.
Yeah, I think you've touched on very important.
Rajdeep, can I come in on this?
I'll let you come after Narayan Lakshman. Please, Mr. Lakshman, go ahead.
Yes, I was just saying you have touched upon a very important dimension, which is that this language debate very much relates to livelihoods and jobs and the skills that it takes to get those jobs. So let's also look at this whole question through that lens. To answer your question, I don't think Hindi is being displaced at all. I think Hindi is being propped up, and there are very, very strong, proponents of Hindi across the northern belt in the political circles. That's never going to go away. You don't have that level of support for any of the other languages in the south, for example. I also include Bengali, West Bengal, because every language is there, contained within the boundaries of a state, more or less. The dominant speakers of that language are more or less within. They don't have the voice today, especially in today's politics, to kind of push their voice up to the level where Hindi is. Now, this bigger question there is, how are the Hindi-speaking states faring economically? Why are we concerned about the delimitation exercise? It is because there's also economic disparity, right? So is Hindi actually proving to be a language which leads to economic success, job success? And therein, you can easily answer the question about English as well. English, whether you like it or not, whether you call it names and you say it's a Western, it gives you Western ideas, it's corrupting Indian culture, you can go however far you wish. It is, unfortunately or fortunately, the language which is linking largest parts of the world in terms of economics, in terms of jobs, in terms of investment. Why do you have Indian community emigrating abroad and being so successful as a diaspora community? It's because of this. So I think we shouldn't leave out the economic side of it when we look at which language.
That's a very interesting point you make, and we'll look at that decline of the Hindi heartland in a moment. But Pawan Verma, as someone who comes in from the Hindi heartland, go ahead.
Rajdeep, I wrote a book some time ago called Becoming Indian, which is largely devoted to the question you raised, whether English has become the real problem, whether it's Hindi or it's Tamil. It's a very important question. First of all, English has a utility because languages at one level are a means of communication. However, I fully agree with Yogendra Yadav when he says that our preference for English as against our mother tongues have impoverished our mother tongues and led our young adrift from their own cultural moorings. I'll tell you, people today, if asked a question in their own language, will reply in English just because they don't want to have the label of inferiority that they cannot speak English. You know, Atal Bihari Vajpayee once quipped that it is a myth that the British left India as a result of the freedom struggle. They left because they could not bear any more the mutilation of the English language. Badly spoken English or shoddily spoken English cannot become the mother tongue of a country which is so linguistically rich as India. So there is a question that is important here. The real issue before us is that this process of assimilation between languages across the barriers of the north and south was happening on its own. India was becoming from a salad bowl into a melting pot on its own. More people were learning to speak a language in which they could communicate other than English,
Right.
on its own. The real danger to the language issue is the evangelists, the Hindi evangelists in the north and the evangelists of languages in the south who are using language for a political reason. And therefore,
let me make that the next
plead
question
to them to please do not make language an issue.
Yeah, you know, let me make that, I'll come to you, Dr. Usharam, in a moment, but let me make that the key question to the two politicians for a moment, both of the DMK and the BJP. Is language being used as a political weapon? Mr. Ilango, the charge is you all want to emotionalize the issue. There are elections in Tamil Nadu next year. That's why you've raked up the language bureau bogey. This is classic fear-mongering. It is classic political fear-mongering. Most Indians organically are learning more and more languages. I migrate from one part of India to the other. I learn the language of that state. I've come from Maharashtra to Delhi 30 years ago. I've learned Hindi.
Yeah.
मैं हिंदी बोल सकता
I'll
हूँ.
go by point by point. Number one, we are not against any language, including Hindi. We respect every language. As we respect our language, we respect every language. Number one. Number two, what Mr. Yogendra Yadav said, a friendly advice to our CM, that we don't say the Hindi has assumed all other languages in a bad sense. We said, if this is allowed, this will happen to our language as well. That's one thing. Three, the Hindi is imposed on us because as you played part of the education minister's speech, he says, unless you agree on NEP, we will not release your share. This is happening not now. This is happening for about 3-4 months, 6 months. What else we can assume from that? If you don't, you won't release our share of